Welcome back to Ayaz Tech. In this video, I will show you how to create Auth Guard by using canActivate Guard to protect your routes. So, for example, you have a website that has two sections. One is for user side and second section is for the admin side. And you want to protect all of the routes that are being used for the admin. You don't want to let any user to access the admin section without providing any credentials. So if anybody wants to get access to the admin panel, then they have to provide credential by signing in the login form. So that's how we normally work in the real world application. And in those cases, we want to protect the routes, and for that we create canActivate Auth Guard. So let's begin. I will show you that from scratch one by one. So first of all, open your terminal and let's create Angular project from scratch. I would type ng new. So just wait for some time. Once application is created, we will open the VS Code and then start working on it. This is going to be very simple example so that it could be very easy to understand for you. So I will create just very simple uh, routes. I will create two sections. One is for user side and second one would be for the admin panel. And there would not be any rocket science or any styling. I would just create the dummy pages very quickly just to show you how the routes work and how to protect the routes. All right, application has been created. Now I will cd into this folder and open this folder in the VS Code. All right, this is the application, and now I want to run this application in the browser. For that, type ng-s-o. That would start serving the application and open it in the browser for you. All right, application is running now in my local server. So now it's time to create some routes. So first of all, let's go to the app component. I'm going to remove all of this example code and let's see. Okay, you can see that I have replaced everything. Now let's go back to the app routing, and here you can see that we have the empty routes array at this moment. So now we need to create another module along with the routing. So one module would be for the client side, for the user side, and second module would be for the admin side. So let's create these two modules along with their routing, along with their routes. For that, type ng ng generate module, and the name would be front end or maybe client side, whatever you can call it, anything. This is just an example. So also type routing at the end. So with this method, it will create the routing file as well for us. All right, you can see that the module has been created along with its routing file. Next, I need to create a component in the client module. For that, type ng generate c. Inside client folder, I need a component with the name client. And then I don't want to create a separate folder, client folder in the client folder. For that, I would use flat flag that would generate the component files without creating any folder. So you can see that component has been generated and it is also imported in the, it is also declared in my client.module file. So, all right, after that, I will just create my next module that would be ng generate dashboard or admin. And then I also want routing, press enter. So with that, it will create a folder with the routing for admin module and the admin module. Now I want to create a component in the admin module. For that, type this, and I don't want a subfolder in it. So, all right. Now I have these two folders created. Let's start using these folders, these components, with the help of these routes. Okay, right now these are empty. So first of all, I need to add my first route, that will be path empty. By default, I am using empty path. So if there is nothing provided in the URL, even if it is provided, so it will, every time it will hit this route. So whenever you open your application, it will open this route, and component should be app component. So this is my main component. You can say that this is my entry level component for the routing. And also after that, I need to add another property that would be children. And in the children property, we have an array of all of the child path or nested paths. So in that, I need to say that if we are trying to access admin, then I want to lazy load a module. So this is how you can lazy load a module. Just type load children, and then let's see. And then you have to specify the path of the module that you want to import. Okay, after that, I've dot then. And I guess something is wrong. Okay, so this is how you can lazy load a module. So my module has been loaded, and if you access this route, it will load this module. After that, I also want to load the client module. The process would be same, but this time I don't want to specify any path. So if user don't specify any path in the URL, then that's mean we are talking about the public path. Okay. So we are talking about the client side. And here I will replace admin with the client, and I will use the client module here. All right. Now, if you try to test it, it will not work. The reason is that, if you look at the client module in the HTML, we have this text, but this text is not showing. The reason is that in the app component, we are showing hello world, but we have to replace everything with this new tag that would be router outlet. Okay. So after adding this, it will start loading all of your child routes into this area. Okay, so for example, we have these child routes. So whenever you access these, it will load the content with the help of this thing. Okay, now I'm loading it, but still my client component is not being shown. The reason is that I would have to go to the client routing, and here I need to add at least one route for that type path. And then component, here you need to specify the client component. After that is done, you will see that it should start working. As you can see, it is working now. We have to do the same thing in the admin module as well. So go to the admin routing module and add the missing path or route. So I'm saying that inside slash admin. We don't need to need user to specify any further path. So if user just types slash admin, it will directly hit this path. Okay. So now I want to load the admin component. Okay. Let's press enter and you can see that admin works is being shown here. So that's perfect. Everything is working correctly. If you want to access the client side, it shows the client area. And if you want to access the admin, it will still show you. I just want to add some big heading to make it more visible. Okay. Similarly, I want to show that heading in the admin as well. That would say admin side. Okay. If you type slash admin, you will see that it will show it. Now I will also add a link in the client area so that user can navigate between these two sections. So here, for example, I can add a link, and here I will add router link. That would be admin. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, you can see that link is working correctly. All right, here you can see that so far we are not providing any protection on our admin route. We have to protect our admin route because at this time anybody can just open the URL and type the admin and they will have access to the admin side very easily. So we have to protect it. So we should not allow anybody to access it. For that, first of all, I will create a guard that would generate a service for us. So for that, type ng generate guard and provide the name of the guard. I would say it is Auth Guard and press enter. And you will see that it would be created here very soon. But before that, you have to specify that which kind of guard you want to create. So here, as I mentioned earlier, I want to use canActivate guard. So benefit of this guard is that if you use it over any uh, route, it will not let that route activate until the conditions are met mentioned in that guard. Okay. So you can see that the guard has been generated and it has some basic code already. You can just use it. So right now it is returning true. That's mean it is just giving you the green signal that you can access that route. So it is not stopping you from anything. So before doing anything, let's just add that guard on our admin route. So here I am saying that I want to use canActivate guard, and here I will import the Auth Guard. You can use more than one guards in the canActivate. So right now we are going to use only one. So as now I have added this guard, and if you reload the admin, you will see that there is no difference yet. Nothing is changed. So the reason is that, as I told you earlier, that in the Auth Guard, we are returning the true as the response. That's why we are giving it green signal that you can access it. But if I return false, then that's mean I'm not allowing anybody to access this. So if you reload it, you will see that it will not allow you to access the admin. Even if you click on the admin or if you type the admin in the URL, it will not let you access that route. Okay. So now let's implement some basic logic on it. So I am going to create another service that would be ng generate service auth service. Press enter. and that would create auth service here. And in the auth service, I I'm going to create a variable that would be user. Okay, I would, or maybe you can call it session. Okay, so in this variable we will be saving our session. So if session is found in this variable, then we will consider that user is logged in, user is signed in. So then that's mean we can give that user access to the sensitive area. But if we don't find any session in this variable, then that's mean we cannot allow them. So right now you can see that we have nothing in this variable. It is undefined. So obviously it will not allow. So first of all, we let's learn how to use it. That would be obviously very simple. So just to go back to the Auth Guard, and here I would say, first of all, I would have to create a constructor to inject the auth service into this guard. For that, create constructor and type private service. Okay, I just have imported the auth guard auth service, and now I want to see return uh, this. I would say if this dot auth service dot session. If session is found, then return true. Otherwise, return false. Okay. Now let's try to open the admin section. You can see that it is not allowing me to open this route because this session is not found. If you save anything in this session, for example, I have saved this string in this session, and if you go try to open the admin, you will be able to access the admin route very easily. So that's how you can utilize Auth Guard. Now I will show you one last example. There is another way. So as you can see, there are multiple response types of this function. Right now we are using Boolean type response of this function, but it is saying that it can be URL tree, it can be a promise, it can be observable. Okay, so let's say uh, to access the session from the service, I have to, for example, I have to call a function that would return me an observable. So we can just return that observable, or we can use it. So I will just show you practically that how we can return observable or promise uh, in this guard. So for that, let's go back to the auth service. And here I'm going to create another function that would be get session. Okay. And for example, for example, when you access session, in some cases, it hits the server. That takes some time. For example, if you are trying to get a session, for example, a session is expired and it is trying to renew your session based on your tokens, on your refresh token. It might take some time because of some processes running in the behind. So we will try to mimic that behavior. For that, I will add some artificial wait period. For that, I will use set timeout. So we will imagine that it is hitting the server. That's why it is taking some time. I would say it will take 3 seconds. And after 3 seconds are done, I want to return the session. Okay. But in from the set timeout, you cannot return anything as the response of the main function. So in order to solve that problem, you have to create a promise or observable. Let's try the observable first. I would return new observable. And in this callback function, I'm receiving observer as my parameter. And here I have pasted my code, and then I would say that after 3 seconds, I want to return my session. For that, I would say observer dot next this dot session. So this way it will return the session after 3 seconds, and after that, I want to complete my observer. Okay. So now let's try it in the Auth Guard. So here, instead of using this condition, I would just say return this dot. It is throwing me error because if you throw, for example, if you return 2, it will not work. It will give you error. The reason is that the allowed return types are only these. So you cannot return anything other than these types. So as observable is acceptable, so I'm going to call this dot auth service dot get session, and I'm still getting an error. The reason is that it is saying that the observable should be of type boolean, but we did not define any type of that observable. So let's define the return type of this function. I would say I'm going to return observable and uh, boolean. Okay. And now you can see that now it is not complaining about the response. So here you can just instead of returning session, as now we are returning the boolean, so we have to produce the boolean here. I will check uh, if we found session. I'm going to use ternary operator. I hope that you know what ternary operator is. So it is very simple. I'm just using it. So if session is found, then I will return true. Otherwise, I will return the false. Okay. So now if I open the admin again, you will see that it will take 3 seconds. It will not open the admin section immediately. It will take some time, and the Auth Guard will wait for it. So it will wait, even if it takes 10 seconds, 50 seconds, it does not matter. It will wait for whatever time you want to make it wait. Okay. I have clicked it. You can see that it did not open. After 3 seconds, it will open it. Done. It has opened it. You can increase the wait period to see more difference. For example, I want to wait for 10 seconds. So these are actually milliseconds. So 10,000 means 10 seconds. So let's click on the admin, and you can see that it did not open the admin route yet. After 10 seconds, it will load it. Just wait for it. Okay. So you can see that uh, we can use boolean, we can use observable. Now I will quickly show you, you can also use the promise as well if you want to use. So instead of returning observable, I would return one second. I would return a promise. For that, I would have to create a promise, return new promise. And in the parameter, in this callback function, I am receiving resolve and reject parameters that I might have to use. So open this, add some space in this callback function and paste the timeout function in that. And now, instead of doing this, I would say that after 2 seconds, I want to resolve this promise with the condition if session is found, then return true in the resolve, otherwise return false. So now this is still going to work. You can see that it is still not complaining that I'm not using promise. I'm using promise, so it is totally fine now. Now, if you click on the admin, after 2 seconds, it will take you back to the admin side. So this was very simple real world example that you will need in your projects. So I hope that this video is useful for you. If you have any questions, please uh, don't hesitate to ask those questions in the comment section. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon. Thank you for watching. See you next time.